Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Is It Called Wine Time with Pete and Felix. Alright, straight to it. Today we're looking at one of our favourite Jura producers, Michel Gahier. Gahier? Gahier? I don't know how to say his last name.
I like how you say it though.
Gahier?
Gahier,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, incredible natural producer in Arbois. He is neighbours with Jacques Puffinet, friends with Eric Gauperon.
Mentor of
mentor of Gauperon.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's very kind of part of the establishment, I guess.
Yeah.
We get these wines every year.
Every year, without fail, we get these wines. We look forward to them. They've been like the sleeper staff pick because they don't have the air about them. They're not as sought after. They don't have the social media hype that a lot of the other wines that come in at the same time have. These fly under the radar, but more often than not, they're more enjoyable than a lot of these other wines that people are chasing. They're classic, clean, beautiful examples of how these varieties should look from that region.
Yeah.
They're made in the exact same way, but they tend to be cheaper and they tend to be often overlooked. That's starting to change. This is the smallest allocation we've ever received of these wines.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I think people don't realise the value of this sort of stuff. They go a lot of times for the big names, the labels and stuff, and overlook these kind of producers.
Like Les Follasses Chardonnay, that punches so far above its weight. Like we've tasted the top of the tree.
Yeah.
It's right up alongside them, and not to focus on price, but it's a third.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Worth checking out.
Yeah, while we've got them, because as Pete said, we've got a tiny allocation this year. So
3 bottles.
So don't miss them. So today's wine is one of the few Trousseau that he produces. As I mentioned before, Gahier is in the Arbois region, in a village called Montigny, which is very, very well known for Trousseau. In fact, I think a lot of people consider Montigny to be the sort of birthplace of Trousseau, or certainly the spiritual home of it in the Jura. And yeah, he has a tiny plot. I think it's 6.5 or 7.5 hectares total under vine. So really small areas.
It's varying ages, right?
Yeah, varying ages.
Yeah, okay.
This cuvée Le Clousot is his young vine Trousseau. Le Grand Verger is his top one. He does Le Vin de Louis. There's a couple that he does as well, but yeah, this is.
I thought you were saying it was 45 years.
Yeah, Le Vin de Louis is 45.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Le Grand Verger is. Probably older than that, and then I think maybe 60 plus. And then this is the young vine. So, I mean, when I say young vine, still sort of 20 years of age average. So they're not young, but yeah, youngest of his plantings. Organic farming, not certified, but like many in the Jura, practice completely organic viticulture. No ads whatsoever in the winery. In fact, he does use sulfur for some of his wines, not this one. Le Clousot is completely sulfur free. So yeah, 100% natural. This is as pure as you can get in terms of winemaking and viticulture. So let's have a look.
It smells so good.
It does smell so good.
We've given it some hair, so...
Yeah, so another thing that some of you may have noticed this for this season, as we're calling it, we're decanting everything. We've talked about doing this in the past. One of the reasons we didn't do it is because we wanted the immediacy of opening the bottle and pouring the glass. However, when you're appraising wine, it really is better to decant. Just even for a small amount of time. You don't need to leave them for hours and hours. Literally the act of pouring the wine from the bottle to the decanter will give it a fair amount of air and open it up a lot.
To put it simply, it matters, and that's why we're doing it.
Exactly. So
it means we get a better chance to look at the wine.
Yeah.
Appraise, fancy word. Look at, yes.
Appraise, indeed.
And it's changed a lot. Like, it was a little bit more reductive and, for lack of a better term, slightly stinky when we opened it.
Yeah, as a lot of natural wines will be, because they're not using sulfur and things to stabilise.
Didn't have that cinnamon thing going on.
No, it's quite cinnamon, isn't it? Yeah.
That is a new development, and it smells bloody good.
Yeah, it smells really good, and it's got this beautiful balance between kind of the earthy, savoury kind of notes that you often find in Jura Reds, sort of crushed rock minerality, and lifted perfumed red fruits as well. Like there's this beautiful kind of synergy between the two.
It's got this slightly rustic kind of barnyard charm.
Absolutely. There's probably I'm going to come out and say
is actually really nice.
Yeah, there's probably a level of Brett in here.
Yeah.
That
definitely
that you will find in a lot of these natural Jura reds. But it's not overpowering, as Pete said. It's actually quite nice, and it adds a sort of
it's giving some character.
Yeah, a rustic edge and a really kind of fine, savoury note to it. So I don't think it's that problematic at all.
I think there's enough fruit ripeness that it kind of wraps it together and adds it as a layer. So it's definitely a layer of complexity than it is, for me, an issue. Some people might find it an issue. Like, that's on you, dude. Not me. But
Yum. Oh, the palate's great. It's really primary, juicy, loads of crunchy red fruit. That liquid rock thing comes through quite strong, like in that sort of minerality on the back palate. The Brett isn't really there on the palate, which is quite nice. I mean,
it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's more than that, actually. I mean, like, it's really nice. The Brett's delicious. It gives it this rustic charm. Like, I mean, for those people that get hung up on terroir and stuff like that, I mean, arguably this is part of that.
Absolutely.
It's the style of these wines, as you were saying before. Jura Reds, they have that kind of, hate to say it, that level of funk. And it's a good thing. It's a reality. You taste a wine like this and you know it's not come from a factory. It's not come from these temperature-controlled high science. Like, there's a reality to this wine.
Yeah, it's not made in a lab. This is hand-produced artisan boutique wines from a tiny producer. Yeah. It does everything himself.
A bloke named Michel.
Yeah. I think that's French for Michael. I don't think that's... Like, they say Michel, but I think it's not
that's
Michel.
It's their problem.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I know. I'll ask Oscar. He'll know.
He might know. But yeah, I think like the beauty of these kind of boutique artisan sort of hands-on or hands-off in this case wines is that they're wild, they're energetic, they're vibrant, and that's what we love about the Jura and about this style of wine. They're exciting, it's not your regular kind of.
I could drink this all day.
Yeah, totally.
All day. Still has that like subtle, juicy character, but like that real tannin and structure as well.
Yeah, beautiful structure, isn't it?
Gives it direction
and shape. Like it holds it to the tannins kind of give it a nice sort of shape
and they're really
in the
fine
mouth.
bone. Like they're there. There's a little bit of grip, super fine tannin, and that just really red fruit character.
Mm-hmm.
Like right
I'm getting like
on the edge of being juby.
Raspberry, cranberry, almost macerated strawberry in that sort of confected edge that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
raspberries when you get them out of those Tetra packs when they've
yeah.
You know the pad that's inside.
Yeah,
it has a little bit of funk.
the strawberry pad,
like
raspberry
been
pad.
in the crisper too long, kind of.
But yeah, no, they're
reality.
We've all done it. It's so good, and as Pete said before, we get a tiny amount of these every year.
The spice, man.
If you're a Jura fan, or even if you're not, and you want to know what all the fuss is about, this is a great value entry point into Jura, because as he said before, some of the other labels can get really expensive very quickly. Whereas I still think Michel Gahier represents great value for that style of wine. And as Pete said before, his whites are exceptional. He tends to do that Sauvois or underfloor style, so oxidative, nutty, rancio, real savoury kind of Chardonnay and Sauvignon.
Well, the Follasses is pretty topped up.
Yeah, some of them are topped up. He does do a couple of topped up.
He keeps it within the,
but
the varieties of Jura.
But most of them, I think he tends to do that sort of Sauvois style. Absolutely beautiful wines, incredibly natural and as I said before, kind of living wines. So
also the name of the importer.
There you go. Shout out to Living Wines.
It's probably a good place to end it.
Yeah, I think so.
Sharp, to the point.
So, check out these wines in store and online if you've not tried them before. We will be back same time, same place next week. Hope to see you there. Until then, keep drinking great wine. See ya.
Goodbye.